I call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. on August 21st. We have a quorum present. Let's proceed. The next item on the agenda is closed session. Do we have a motion to enter closed session?
In accordance with 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia, I move that the Franklin City School Board enter into a closed session to discuss and evaluate matters related to supplemental employment, new hires, promotions, resignations, advisory boards, and non-resident students pursuant to VA Code Section 2.2-3711A1 and 2.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? We are now in closed session. was two.
I think it was 5, so we're gonna approve 4.
Yes, it was 5 altogether. So we're approving 4 except for 1.
The one that was single was the one that John disappeared.
Total of 4.
Was a total of 5.
Total of 5, but we're approving 4.
Okay. It just said 1 through 4 approved, and I know what you're talking about. 1 through 5 disapproved.
Okay. The closed session has concluded. We are now returning to open session. Do we have a motion to come out of closed session?
I move that the school board, having been in closed session pursuant to a proper motion, come out of closed session.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move we approve the agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Any abstentions? Do we have a motion for certification?
Whereas the Franklin City School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3712. Of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed meetings was conducted in formality with Virginia law, and now therefore be it resolved that the Franklin City School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Motion from closed session.
Madam Chair, we have 3 motions from closed session. The first is to approve 4 non-resident students as recommended by staff, denying 1 as recommended by staff.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Roll call, Ms. Davis.
We have 1 more.
Oh,
Madam Chair, I
Consent
move
agenda.
that we approve the personnel agenda as presented, less item number 24.
29. 29.
29, I'm sorry.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any abstentions? All those opposed say nay. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve personnel item number 29.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Any abstentions?
I abstain.
Can we start voting individually, 111? Instead of in unison?
We can discuss it at our next meeting. Thank you, Ms. Wadia.
I'm only
Bailey.
asking because everybody's not voting when we do it as collectively as a group. And there's no way to identify it, and we're all aboard, so I thought we were supposed to vote 1111. Is there a policy on it?
We can look that up at our next board meeting. Roll call.
Dr. Harrison,
Here.
Mr. Grant. Here. Ms. Parker,
Here.
Ms. Boone,
Here.
Mr. Holt,
Here.
Ms. Bailey,
Present?
Dr. Carter.
Here.
We have the minutes from the special meeting call on July 10th for anonymous consent. Are there any objections to these minutes being approved by unanimous consent? The meeting, special call meeting on July 10th. Do we have a motion?
I move that we, that we accept the minutes from the meeting for July 10th.
Second.
I was going to do that, but I was going to do it Ms. Bailey's way. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Any abstentions?
Me or the chair didn't vote?
No, I didn't get your vote.
I know,
She said aye.
no, that's what I was trying to say. I'm noticing everybody's not voting. It should be 7 of us, and we should all either say nay, yea, or abstain, all 7. But aye.
Aye.
Did you get Ms. Boone's vote? Thank you.
Superintendent's report.
WHRO.
Chairwoman Boone, Dr. Carter, members of the board, thank you for allowing me to speak with you tonight. My name is Bert Schmidt. I am the president and CEO of WHRO. With me is Elmer Seward. He's my vice president of education, so if you have any hard questions, I've got backup tonight. I come to you because you're one of the 21 school divisions that literally own the license to WHRO. We are the only media company in the entire country owned by collaboration of K-12 school divisions. Started by 2 school divisions back in 1961. Today, 21 school divisions own the license, and we meet regularly with the superintendents, school board representation, technology folks, instruction folks, etc. We provide you each year an impact statement looks like this. You should have copies.
We
I-
actually do not.
I don't.
We don't. We do not.
Okay, we were told you would have electronic copies. Do they not have copies of this? Don't play the video yet. Okay, well, my apologies. We'll have to resend this report, so we'll make sure it gets in your hands. Rather than me going through the report in detail, what I've done for you instead is to play a video. We've created a video for you that describes the services that you receive, and if we can play the video, that'll summarize the services.
WHRO stands out as the nation's sole public media station owned by a collaboration of 21 school divisions. This distinctive ownership model places education at the heart of our mission, influencing every aspect of our work. Our team of educators is committed to offering students, teachers, and families innovative, free, high-quality programs and services. One key service that WHRO offers is eMedia VA, Virginia's leading digital content repository. With nearly 100,000 free, top-quality instructional resources, eMedia VA provides educators and students with videos, interactive tools, games, lesson plans, images, and more. This platform is designed to enhance personalized learning and make classroom experiences more engaging. For our youngest learners, WHRO offers exciting educational activities to spark their imagination. Our free education vans visit elementary schools with programs tailored to Virginia's standards of learning, covering literacy, numeracy, scientific investigation, and technology. We also support parents and caregivers, ensuring children are prepared for kindergarten and set up for success in their early school year. For secondary educators, WHRO provides a catalog of 29 award-winning, customizable online courses and digital resources. These media-rich SOL-aligned courses are designed to integrate seamlessly with various learning management systems. They offer flexibility for face-to-face, flipped, blended, and fully online teaching environments, enriching lessons with engaging content. At WHRO, we celebrate students' achievements through competitions that showcase their talents. The Great Computer Challenge, for example, gathers school teams from across the region at Old Dominion University to tackle real-world technology problems. Another highlight is the Town Bank Regional Spelling Bee, where middle school champions compete at WHRO's studio for a chance to advance to the Scripps National Spelling Bee. The local competition is recorded and aired on WHRO each April. Elementary students also have an opportunity to shine through our PBS Kids Writers Contest. This competition invites young writers to craft and illustrate their original stories, fostering creativity and critical thinking. Our student advisory board reflects our commitment to student engagement. This group of high school students offers feedback on WHRO's content and has opportunities to create their own, influencing our online courses and eMedia VA resources. We're equally devoted to supporting educators through our professional development programs. Our workshops and training sessions provide teachers with cutting-edge strategies and tools, empowering them to inspire and guide their students effectively. Visit WHRO's education webpage to learn more about how these amazing free materials, programs, and resources can benefit you. At WHRO Public Media, we're proud to partner with our local school divisions and the Virginia Department of Education to shape the future of education one student at a time.
And I should mention that all those services that you saw in that video are services requested by either the superintendents or the school boards themselves. So it's the way we bring together 21 divisions so we do things one time rather than 21 times, saving the taxpayer money and improving education for all students regardless of zip code. And I want to especially thank the division for sending many of your students to our student advisory board to help advise us as we continue to build more online courses for you. Getting feedback from those students about what excites them about a course or what may not excite them is super valuable. And Dr. Carter, thank you for having a good-sized team come out from Franklin to WHRO in Norfolk. In the report that I promise we'll send you again, you will see there's an executive summary, but in the bottom, I just want to make sure you're aware because you care about the money. Franklin City Public Schools invested $3,400 last year and received direct and indirect benefits valued at $666,000, a return of $951 for every dollar that you invested. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Mr. Smith, thank you for coming, first of all.
My pleasure.
Last year, I recall, WHRO helped us with a video for our J.P. King Academy, and that was very well done.
That's right.
We appreciate that.
Again, as Dr. Carter knows, anytime you call us again, our team will come out again and do that. That's part of the services we offer. Some school divisions, like Franklin, take advantage, others don't, but yeah.
My question really is, how are you dealing with the federal budget cuts?
It's tough. We lost $2 million. So we are doing a campaign to try to raise those dollars to cover this year. Fortunately, folks are stepping up to increase their memberships. We live on members with members, and so we've had a lot of folks already step up. We're using, with this $2 million campaign, we can take our time with cuts and use a scalpel rather than a chainsaw. And we're already having attrition from people through natural, people retirements or people get new jobs, and we're not replacing those positions. It's unclear what it'll look like a year from today. But fortunately, a lot of the education work we do is restricted. I mean, the schools provide us money, the Department of Education provides us money for education work. So it probably won't be as severe in the education side as maybe in other parts of what we do. So, but it's still unclear. But it's a big hit. Take the $2 million. Our organization's never been without federal funding. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? It's the question I'm getting at every meeting, yeah.
But then again, even with the cuts, still, again, thank you for what it is that you are doing, especially for the rural areas. So, yeah, greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Dr. Ricks.
Good evening. I have the update tonight for our clubs and organizations. Go to the next one. All right, this handbook is designed to set and provide a standard guidelines for administration and also our school teams who carry out clubs and organizations with our division. Each year we review those organizations and clubs, and then we make determinations whether we want to keep those clubs or add more additions to those clubs. All right, so here for SP Morton, as you can see the list there, we have Girls on the Run, which we started last year. We continue that. Girl Scouts. We have the National Elementary Honor Society, and those are grades 4 through 5. We have a Student Council Association that we're definitely going to start this year. Tutoring Club, and we also have a new club this year, Elevated Manhood, 5th through 6th grade at this level at SP Morton. For JPK CTE Academy, we also have there, you see DECA. These are the clubs that we have that's tied to each one of our CTE programs. We have Ed Rising, that's tied to our educational program. We have Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. Business Leaders, we have Health Occupation, which is geared to our health class. We have Skills USA for our Building and Trades program. And we have the National Technical Honor Society, which we started last year, and we will continue to move forward with that society. For FHS, we have band and chorus. We have the book club, chess club, Heart and Soul, which we started last year. We also have, you see the Ladies of Distinction, and that's a club that we've had over several years. We also have the Elevated Manhood, which is new, which will start with the 7th through 12th grade. So as you can see, that's a 5th through 12th grade program. We have the National Junior Honor Society with 6th through 8th grade, which we started last year. We will continue with the National Honor Society, 9th through 12th. We have the robotics team and the scholastics bowl team. And again, you can see the major new club that we're rolling out with this year is the Elevated Manhood.
Can you describe that? What is that doing?
Well, that is the administrators in all of our buildings, all the male administrators, and also our family engagement specialist, Mr. Cofield, who has also partnered with males in the community. And they will have each once a week, they will have mentoring sessions with males, with the males. They will also reinforce social emotional support. They will reinforce academics, achieving their academics, and they will also support them with building in field trips to enhance their experiences overall.
Who are some of the males in the community that will be involved in this program?
Some of the males in the community which they signed up with Mr. Cofield. We have Mr. Xavier Scott, who's supporting that program. We have some other ones Dr. Carter can mention.
Yeah, you have Mr. Lavelle Evans. You have some of the ROTC gentlemen that have volunteered, our teachers. And we're actively recruiting males to help mentor our young men. So it's not set in stone. So it is definitely open for those who would like to volunteer and work with our young men.
And they can get in contact with Mr. Ellis Cofield if we have more males that may be interested in the community. But students are identified, and they're identified based on our data that shows us, like, students that need that extra support, students that, need that academic support, that discipline, that attendance support. So that's how students are identified for this specific club.
Just a quick question. Definitely want as many men as possible to join
Yes.
and help the program out. But how are you vetting the people that are coming into the program?
Yes, the people that are coming to the program, they all have to go through our HR department, and they have to be checked for as background and things like that before they volunteer. And that's a practical standard for all of our clubs. You have to go through the HR volunteer process.
So that's the same like coaches and everything else.
Yes,
right?
that's the
Assistant
same thing
coaches,
with
it's the same.
coaches. Anyone that's running any organization or coming in to volunteer or just to serve on touch base nights, they still have to go through that process.
Does our robotics club finally have a home, or are we still looking for one for them?
Robotics?
Robotics is still at J.P. King. We were looking at one time the warehouse, but that fell through. So right now they're still stationed at J.P. King.
And are they sharing space with another?
No, they're not sharing space.
Okay.
The next one. All right, so my next presentation deals with the athletic handbook and some updates there. This is also a handbook where our staff, parents, and stakeholders come together and we try to work through governing what is in place for athletics, how they qualify to participate in VHSL sports. And that work is myself involved, the athletic director, and school administration. And then we have appropriate teacher staff and also athletic staff and coaches that support this work. All right, so fall, we have cross country, varsity, JV. We have brought JV football back. So we're back with JV football this year, and we have JJV football. That's more of the middle school football. We have varsity, JV, and JJV cheerleading. We have JJV basketball and also volleyball in the fall. Winter, we have varsity, JV, and JJV basketball, varsity, JV, and JJV cheerleading and wrestling. And during the spring sports, we're offering baseball, softball, soccer, track and field, and also tennis. And you can,
Wrestling, I have a question, sorry to interrupt you. Wrestling, do they finally have a home or not yet?
wrestling is also at JP King.
Yes, wrestling's at the J.P. King Gym.
So they don't have to roll up their mats anymore, they can leave them down?
They can leave them down.
Okay.
All right, next.
When do we start our debates with the debate club?
We have the debate advertised, and in the handbook, you will see it's to be determined because we haven't secured a sponsor for the debate club at this time. So some of them in the handbook are to be determined because we're still securing trying to attempt to secure sponsors. All right, we definitely are excited. This has been a journey, and I'm so grateful for the team, the staff that have really supported the opening of our Pearson Center. And we have the signs set up at JP King, the directions, and we are excited to be able to offer the opportunity for people in the community, for students as well, because we do have GED testing there as well, and for teachers to complete assessments in preparation for their licensure. So those are some tips that you can kind of review over. If you would go down, not to the map yet, but the second part right there. Okay, so this is pretty much a summary of benefits that are offered, but I wanted to emphasize that the hours of operation are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m., and every other Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. And we have to be open 8 hours a week. So we do have our staff, which Mr. Kelly is the testing administrator. His contact information is available there, and we have released on our website. We also release it in our local businesses and in our local, also in Murfreesboro and Emporia. We'll be reaching out and reaching out to them where they can sign up for assessments at our Pearson Center. So we definitely are excited about this opportunity.
I have a question about the times. Not all the tests time out. I'm not saying that all the tests actually accumulate up to 4 hours. Some of them, after you hit a certain number of corrections, it cuts you off. And then some of them continue. So with that being from 4 to 8, do we understand that, I'm not saying everyone, but there's a possibility it may go past that 4 hours on certain tests? Or are we giving them a time limit because the actual test doesn't give them a time limit on some of the tests?
Well, most tests give a timeline, give a cutoff time, even if you don't use the total 4 hours. But if we have people, people based on, we'll be able to see in advance who signed up for what test and what the criteria are for that test. So Mr. Kelly is willing to make accommodations, even if we have to go over that 8-hour span. But the minimum we had to have each week in guidelines with Pearson's guidelines, it had to be at least up to 8 hours, but it can't exceed.
Okay.
So, Ms. Boone, we'll be sending out information within a 50-mile radius so that this is just not just for the citizens of Franklin, but just everyone in the Tidewater area.
And we are on the website, correct?
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes. Mr. Cowles released it today. He released it officially on the website. We released it Parent Square, and we also going to be releasing a news press on it. And as you can see here, we because we have the same dates that we're closed, the testing center will be closed. So we had to also submit all those guidelines to Pearson. And as you can see, those are the dates, and the calendar is being released with the flyer as well. So we can have staff or anyone who signs up can plan way in advance.
Okay, thank you.
Family engagement. All right, so this is a first read of our family engagement division policy. And I will go over the purpose because this is our first time bringing this policy to the school board. We receive Title I funds for our elementary school and also for our high school. And we have to come together. One of the requirements is that we come as a team and that we build a family engagement policy that not just involves staff, but also involve the parents of the community. All right, so as you can see, we try to involve more parents. We still have additional committees that we have to have fulfill that Title I policy. But this is what we had to begin to draft our division policy. So myself, Mr. Kofi, and Ms. Murphy, our family engagement specialist, and then we had 3 parents and a student to participate in the development of our initial division policy. All right, so the statutory requirements for this policy is that we involve parents and family members. We provide the coordination, technical assistance, and other supports that are needed to make sure that that policy is fulfilled. We coordinate, integrate, and conduct evaluations, as that's going to the next part as well, to determine what needs to take place next. As you can see, even for our recent kickoff and different events that taken place, we have released surveys so that we can begin to evaluate the family and parents' perspective when those events are taking place. We involve parents in the activities of the school and implement effective means of how we outreach and make those efforts to diverse populations with the support of parents. All right, so some of the key components that our parents, we discussed as a committee, and our parents, wanted more information and wanted to get more involved with our division open house. We have also our parent teacher student associations, which we have been advertising, joining in participation with that. Parent teacher associations, grades pre-K through 6. Parent teacher conferences, that's something that we have quarterly. We also have touch base quarterly during intern periods before we reach the report card period. Title I Parent Night, that is a monthly event that will be taking place at our elementary and also our high school. We have a CTE annual expo that we have every year where we highlight our students' performances in career and technical education. We have Stuff the Bus, which our community and staff get involved and volunteer and supply all of our students with supplies, which we gave a host out yesterday doing open house. We have extracurricular activities where we try to incorporate those meetings to engage parents, because a lot of parents come out, especially at the secondary level, doing those extracurricular activities. We have developed parent resource rooms. There's a daily check-in through the year at the elementary school, and also our secondary resource room is at J.P. King. We have added the Superintendent's Parent Advisory Committee, Girls on the Run, again, that's another group, and the Heart of Souls. One of the main things parents requested is to receive a calendar of events at the beginning of the school year. So with that said, I just wanted to add, this is the policy that I presented to you tonight as a first read. This is a first read. This is the division policy, but there will be school-based committees that will take that division policy and paint the picture of what that looks like specifically with calendar and details and what they want to see as an elementary parent community at SP Morton, and the same thing will be done for FHS.
Before you finish, can you please elaborate on family engagement specialists? What exactly do they do?
The family engagement specialist?
Yes.
Yes. The family engagement specialists, they go out in the community, they pass out flyers that advertise all of our events. They meet with families. They have resource rooms where they meet with families and provide them with needs based on if they need clothing, if they need socks, they need supplies. They have available resource rooms at each school. And they document what parents come in, what time they spend in the resource room, and what resources that they receive. They also serve our 27 families, that's McKinney-Vento, that are homeless. And each quarter throughout the year, they make sure that they have resources before they leave for major breaks. They provide services and resources to them throughout our community events through Western Tidewater, and they partner with the community to bring in a lot of support and resources to support our students.
Quick question. How are the parents or the students selected? Is it based off of the parents reaching out to the schools, or is it based on detect which students they need to put the focus on?
That's a good question. Well, the main priority with our resources is first our McKinney-Vento kids. Those are our kids that have been identified homeless. And there is a criteria that they have to go through to qualify for that particular program through our school social worker. So those kids are priority. Then we have a layer where our family engagement specialists may submit inventory or support of what our students may need based on recommendations from the administration, based on recommendations from school counselors, and also based on recommendations from what parents may be requesting or may come in and say things that they need.
Thank you, Dr. Riggs.
Okay.
You have one more?
Code of conduct. This is the family engagement. I'll just briefly talk about code of conduct and send it. It's not that one. It's code of conduct. Yes, the policy, but it's code of conduct. Okay. Okay, that's not it. It was the code of conduct, but all right, so the code of conduct, that should be the code of conduct. So the code of conduct, and I will share it with you all. That's what we roll out the beginning of the year that deals with discipline and interventions that we have in place for students. There has not been any major change from the Virginia Department of Education. So practically, it is the same handbook that was in place from last year. We just adjusted the appeal process, which is first the dean of students, then it's the assistant principal, and then it's the principal, then it's me as the assistant superintendent, and then if there's another appeal, it goes to the superintendent. So it's 5 layers for our families to engage with. Also, we have added the Clear Choice program, and that's our alternative education program. And that's and the guidelines for that have been, in addition, added to the Code of Conduct for the 25-26 school year. And that will be posted on the website as well this week and in the school, so the parents will have access to all the handbooks that's starting out our 25-26 school year. That's it.
Even though we're putting it on Parent Square, how do we know the parents are actually getting it? Or is this one of the documents that has to be signed and returned back to the school?
Yes, it has to be signed and returned, but they have to return one sheet that's within that, right. So if they ask for it hard copy, then the schools will provide them a hard copy. But if they refer to just read it online and submit the first day of school back, the teachers will track and see who we need to follow up with to get. But I know exactly what you're talking about, that final sheet that says the parent sign, the student sign saying we understand that this is the code of conduct that's going to govern our school year.
Okay.
That's it.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It gives me pleasure to present to you several updates from the Office of Curriculum and Instruction. The first one is just a testing calendar for all the assessments that we will provide for students throughout the year, from CTE to SOL to growth assessments to the gifted calendar of when we actually give students assessments to identify who falls within that gifted spectrum. We have all of our diagnostic assessments. You can turn next, Mrs. Davis. I'm really attentive. Okay. No problem. Okay. So our alternative assessments for VAP for those students who are in our special education program. So this just gives you all the assessments that we provide within Franklin City Public Schools in compliance with the Virginia Department of Education. So this is just for your information. All of our teachers and school leaders have access to this calendar, so they know exactly when assessments will take place. And our Director of Assessment and Accountability provides training for our teachers so that we are in compliance with all of the rules and regulations and accommodations that students need when they're taking these assessments. Any questions about the testing calendar? Okay, next presentation. Okay, so I'm happy to present our new grading procedures. We have heard from parents, we've heard from teachers and administrators regarding a consistent grading practice across the school division. You see our rationale. We had multiple meetings. We involved multiple stakeholders, from curriculum folks to parents to teachers, reading specialists, curriculum specialists, special education, because we wanted to make sure that all students had the opportunity to showcase what they know and be able to look at the grades along a span so that we know exactly what they're learning over time. Next slide, please. So, as you know, that our kindergarten through second grade, they're still in the early developmental stages of their academic program. So as you can see, they have what's called a standards-based report card that shows all of the standards and all of the skills that they should acquire while they're in grades K through 2. So they do not receive the A through F notation in terms of their progress. They use the O, S, N, and U, and you have the definitions there for what each of those means. However, they transition to the A through F when they arrive in third grade. That's also the first time they are taking an SOL assessment. Next slide, please. So what are our grading expectations? All of these categories were designed by the committees that worked on this project. You will see we have 4 classifications: classwork, participation homework, quizzes, and tests. And what you see is the number of assignments per 9 weeks. And this is the minimum. Teachers may elect to assign more assignments. However, this is the minimum. This gives us a good idea as to what students know and where they need more support. The elementary specialty courses include your art, your PE, your music, because those students in elementary school are only seen once a week. We cut it in half to classwork, 4 assignments at 30% of your grade, participation homework, 4, quizzes, 2, and a major tests, 1. So, what are the grading expectations? We have heard from parents that sometimes when they go into Power School to look for grades, sometimes they don't see a lot of the grades that are there until the end. So we wanted to ensure that teachers are updating those grades weekly, so that when parents need to know how their children are performing, they know in real time where there are areas of deficiency, as well as where there might be areas where students are showing great progress. Missing assignments. Power School does not read the number 0. So if a student is missing assignment, the number 1 is there as a placeholder. Students who are absent or missing assignments have 5 days from the date they return to school to make up that work. If additional time is needed because students may be in the hospital, may have a longer illness, the building level administrator, along in collaboration with the teacher, may give the students an extended time. If the student does not attempt the work, to complete the work, the 1 is recorded in Power School and will be a part of their average. If students attempt the work to complete an assignment, the lowest possible grade they may get will be a 50. If the student does not attempt the work, does not complete the work after giving opportunities, the 1 will remain. So if the student attempts the work, 50 is the lowest grade they receive. If they do not attempt the work, they will receive the 1 that will remain in Power School. Any questions?
Yeah, is there any time limit on this?
What do you mean time limit?
5 days, the end of the semester? Can you make up work on the last day of the semester and still get it?
No. If you look up, it says students have 5 days to complete the work when they returned. So there is no more, you can make up all your work at the end of the semester. 5 days is your limit, unless you have extenuating circumstances, which you would have to work that with the principal. So it's not, you have 5 days upon your return.
They're there. They're present. They've not done the work.
If you are there and you do not complete the work, and you're there and it's a refusal, that's a 1.
And there's no
No.
make up work 5 days later? or
No,
whatever. It's
it's only if you are absent does that 5 days apply. If you are in the classroom and you are refusing after multiple attempts to get you to do the work, the 1 remains. Okay, next slide, please.
I have a question. With
Yes.
the 5-day absence, we have a truancy officer, correct?
Yes,
Would they bring it to the parents' attention that the homework can be gathered and given to the child? I'm asking that because I've made phone calls and let them know that a child was going to be out, and if there's any way a packet can be left in the office for me to pick up for the child.
Sure, absolutely. A packet, if a kid is sick and the parents know that, hey, you know, my kid needs, you know, the work, they're able to do the work, they just can't come to school, they can pick up a packet. Or if they cannot get there, then they have 5 days from the time of their return to get the work.
So the teachers also do understand this, because some teachers still didn't give packets.
Well, this is our updated changes now. I've sent this out to principals. It is to be put in the handbook for the teachers, and it's also been uploaded to our repository where we house all of our lesson plans, where we house our curriculum, our testing. It's right there for teachers.
Okay.
So this is new. This is something that we are anticipating and expecting. All the principals and all assistant principals were on this committee to ensure that we were in agreement that this would be our new grading practice moving forward.
So I have one more question.
Yes.
In Parents, what is it, Parent Square?
Yes.
I know that I once told Dr. Carter I didn't see something. Dr. Carter had someone go into the office and pull it and showed the day and time that I seen it. Does that also go for the teachers? For when they say, let's just say hypothetically speaking, I didn't see this, can that also happen to them?
In terms of being able
Being
to
held
say,
accountable that they did see it and them claiming that they didn't.
I don't have a mechanism for that. However, the building level administrators, when they are meeting with their staff, which they have, they can have a sign-in sheet for when this was explained and when they saw it. And also, every teacher has to go into our curriculum documents, so I uploaded it there. So there's no way that you can't see it because it's there. When you go every day to get your lesson plan, it's there. When you go to get your pacing guide, it's there.
Okay.
So we've made sure that it has gone out to principals. We've discussed it, and I've uploaded it now to our internal documents for our teachers. So there's no way that they can't see it because it's right there for them.
Do we have any assurance that our parents are accessing this? Is there any way to say, oh, read, you know, they've seen the assignment, that they've checked it, like, you know, in text, you can see someone, you know, you can read that they got your text.
So, I mean, there is a way for that. That would be more of a technology question in terms of how to, you know, get the analytics for that. But it is available in a form that can be sent to parents, because I put it in a nice little form, a nice little one-pager on the back, their guidance notes as to what all of this means. So this can be sent out, and however we access it through technology, that will be our technology program. But we do have a way for parents to receive this information.
And being that the students have 5 days to complete their assignment, is it fair to say that the teacher should have like 5 days to make sure that the grades are in so the parents can see the grades?
Absolutely. So a part of this process is that they have to update them every week. So if they choose to update it every Monday or every Friday, that's at the discretion of the building administrator, but grades must be updated weekly so that parents are aware. If my child was out on Monday and that child has 5 days, but I turned it in on Wednesday, within that 5-day window, my child, I should, as a parent, be able to go into Power School and see the work has been graded, it has been averaged, and this is a true representation of what my child knows and what my child completed.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes,
How do parents access Power School?
that would be another technology question. I make sure the curriculum is there. I know parents have access to Power School because I've seen some who go on their phone and look and show me things. But in terms of how that happens, that would be more at the technology level at the school.
The reason that I asked that question, Madam Chair, is because a lot of parents are probably very, very familiar with Parent Square, but have no idea that they can actually view their children's grades in Power School. And that's something that they need to have access to and something that they need to know.
And Ms. Parker, I'm glad you brought that up. We need to discuss with the principals. Maybe we will have something during a parent night to educate how to come on Parent Square and to operate all the other electronic devices. That's at their disposal. So thank you for that.
Yes. And we wanted to make sure that when we talk about diagnostic assessments, that they were not graded. Because if I want to see what you know at a certain point within my teaching, that's a diagnostic assessment. It's information for me as a teacher to support you. So that's why benchmark assessments will not be graded. They are part of the diagnostic tool to assess how well students are learning, where adjustments to the instruction need to happen. And also, beginning in 26-27, the standards of learning will count for 10% of the final grades for students in grades 7 through 12, and that is a Virginia Department of Education mandate. That is not a Franklin City Public Schools mandate. That is a part of the new assessment system moving forward, 26-27. It has to be 10% of your final grade.
And if they don't pass the standards of learning?
The state has not given us any guidance in terms of what happens if they don't pass it, but they are coming out with what each particular band, let's say you make a 400 to a 450, I think they're going to give you guidance on what that grade would be, because you would have to know how to grade it. If you make a 350 to a 375, what that grade would look like. It will be averaged as a part of your grade. So let's say the child did not pass. It's only 10%, so it doesn't mean that the child would fail the course. It just means that it is one of those assessments that must be a part of your final grade.
So whether they pass or not, they still get 10%.
No matter what. The state will have to tell us with those SOL score spans what each band and what the grade would be.
Okay.
Yes. Any questions? Additional questions?
So Something, I mean, again, when we're looking at testing, the purpose of testing is assess a child's learning.
Sure.
Right? It's an idea of saying, is the teacher teaching it? Is the child learning it? And how to make that distinction.
Yes.
If most of the kids got it, probably the teacher's doing it okay. If most kids didn't get it, then the teacher needs help. How are we making sure that the testing is actually a way of not just assessing, but improving the education? Or improving the outcomes, not just a test score, but
Sure.
if the child needs improvement, I assume who comes into that teacher's class and say, well, look, this is not working, we've got to improve. What
Yeah,
can we do?
so we have a reading specialist, of course, at the elementary school, but we have the curriculum specialist that really know how to not only write curriculum, but also write assessments. So we have to take a look at the assessment to make sure that it's aligned to standards. Through our observations and our walkthroughs, we always know that there is an alignment issue either with the written, the tested, or the taught. So if those three don't come together, that's where we determine what professional development teachers need. And we also know when we look at the assessment, well, this is how you taught it, but this is what the standard said. So now we have to go back and readjust and align this assessment or the teaching. It could be modeling, it could be any variety of things, but we do have our curriculum specialists in all 4 of our content areas who go into those classrooms to work with teachers for those issues that you just spoke about.
Their official home, is it in the schools or is it in this building?
No, their official home is at JPK. Last year, their official home was at SP Morton, but their space, we relocated them, but they are actually at SP Morton. And we have a resource room for them to meet with teachers to provide professional development in MODC this year.
So I have a question with that being said. You have some teachers that won't go for help. How
Yeah.
do you find that?
Well, generally, when we do our walkthroughs, we walk through every classroom.
Right.
And we give them feedback. And so when we give them feedback, we also have the opportunity to say in a coaching capacity that this, I noticed that when I'm in your classroom, this is what I see. This is what the standard said. Can I help you? And generally, they're not going to turn down help.
And all of this is documented, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have our walkthrough tool, and I get a copy of it so that I see it. And then we also did our walkthroughs from central office, where we all wrote down the feedback. We gave it not only to the principal, but we gave it directly to the teacher. And we asked them to respond, to say, hey, this is what I wonder. Can you give me some more information about this? And I've had success with teachers emailing me back. They actually appreciated that they got it so quickly, but they also had an opportunity to explain. Because if I come in the middle of your lesson, I may wonder what happened before. So they like the opportunity to be able to explain what happened. And not just say, here's the feedback, this is what I saw, but this is what you missed. So, and then it created a dialogue between us. And we all did that from central office last year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next presentation, please.
Can I ask one more
Yes.
question?
Okay.
Where's the line of authority when it comes to helping teachers? Is it the principal? Is it the curriculum specialist? Who's the one that really determines what's happening in that classroom?
Well, the teachers control what happens in the classroom, but the first line of defense when it comes to monitoring of instruction is the instructional leader, which is your principal and your administrative staff. So we are the support, but the first line of defense to identify issues or concerns instructionally has to come from the principal. The central office is there to support. We're not there to, be the first eye. We are the second eye. This is my second year.
And this policy that you just spoke of, or the procedure you just spoke of, has been something you've implemented since you've been here?
Is something we are implementing, yes, this year.
No, I'm talking about the assessment part of going in and working with the teachers and making sure that the SOLs or the testing is reflected not only on the student side, but on the teacher side as well.
Yeah, it's been happening since I've been here, yes, sir. But there have been similar aspects before I was here, because they have had diagnostic, they've had benchmarks before I got here, they have assessments, they've had those too. I'm just here to bring my level of expertise and the expertise and knowledge of those who are here to just improve it, because the standards have changed since I've been here. So we've had to make some adjustments in instruction.
And since you've been here, how has that, your assistance or your going in and working with the teachers or the curriculum specialists, how has that affected the SOL schools?
I can say that we have had some improvements in some areas, and in some areas, we have much work to do. We've had much work to do, especially in the area of reading and in the area of math. We've seen some improvement in science, which was low at the elementary level. We've had some good success. We at least, moved up by 10 or 15 points. However, we have much work to do. Okay. So I would like to talk now about our course offering guide. We had some updates to our course offering guide for the high school. Just wanted to say that we will be working again with the 4x4 system, which means students are able to take 4 courses first semester, 4 courses second semester. Next slide, please. So what's new? We removed all of the introductory courses, because what happens is if a student takes introductory culinary arts and only takes culinary arts 1, they're not considered a completer. They need to take culinary arts 2. They need to take Art 1 or Art 2 in order to be considered a completer, or to take an industry test for their industry credentials by their senior year. So making sure that when students go to, whether it's culinary arts, whether it's welding or whatever they are taking in terms of their CTE course, students are able to start off with culinary arts 1, and then they go into culinary arts 2. And that way those students are able to complete a sequence and take an industry certification. So that's new, and that's really going to help our students, that by the time they get to their senior year, we're hoping that they won't have to take an industry certification, that they will get it before they enter their 12th grade year. We also are offering JROTC to 8th grade students. Okay. This year, we are requiring that freshmen take a freshman seminar course. This course really acclimates them to high school. It helps, even though they're there at the high school in the 7th and 8th grade, that's still part of a middle school concept. But when they get to 9th grade, that is where those verified credits come in. That is where they're now in the what's considered federally identified as the start of your high school career. So we're also using a medical assistant 1 and 2. It will replace nurse aide 1, nurse aide 2. We are offering this year cosmetology 1 and 2, barbering 1 and 2, and we've added a new course that will be taught at Franklin High School, which is sociology. I believe it may have been taught before, but it hasn't been in a while, so we're adding that. It's not a dual enrollment course. It's simply a sociology course to give students another elective.
So are we offering, go back to the other screen, medical assistant, are we offering that at the Pearson? Because it's a difference between medical assistant and nurse's aide.
Yes, it'll be taught at JPK.
So the curriculum is different. We're not, at the end of this right here, from what I'm reading, medical assistant, they won't be a certified nurse's assistant if they take the Pearson, because medical assistant and nurse's aide are 2 different courses.
Yes, they are. Now, in terms of what certification they will have, I would have to defer to Dr. Ricks to share on that part. We just know that these are the courses that we will offer.
Because medical assistant is more administrative than nurse's aide. Nurse's aide does more of the ADLs than the medical assistants.
Okay, and
So it's a
you know, I'm
difference.
not familiar,
It's
I'm not
okay.
familiar
It's okay.
with that part.
What led to the decision to switch the courses out?
I will have to defer to Dr. Ricks for that information. I'm just presenting what's on the guide.
did a survey with our nursing aid program, it was a very small percentage of students participate. So we did a survey for medical assistants, which would give students a more broad area to go into medical if they wanted to go into coding or different things, office assistant in the medical field, so that would give them more broad. And we had a host of students from our CTE survey to choose medical assistant versus nursing aid.
Okay, so they really prefer that. Will you be able to certify them at the end of the medical
Yes.
assistant too?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be a different industry certification from the nursing. That's more rigorous and challenging. So we were only having 2 or 3 kids in the program, but they were dropping off. So when we put the survey out, more kids signed up for and was interested in the
Well, the
medical
certification is still given through the Pearson
Yes.
with medical assistant.
Yes, it'll still be through the Pearson.
Thank you, Dr. Ricks.
Thank you.
Also, this year, what is changing is that dual enrollment will be at the expense of our parents. Students will still have the opportunity to take and get a uniform a certificate of general studies. But if any student is going for their associate's degree, that will be the expense of the families, and they will have to pay directly to Pawnee Camp.
Why the change?
Well, it's budget cuts. We had a situation where we just could not afford to sponsor it anymore. And we had a situation where we had problems collecting money from parents. And it was just a situation where it was very hard to fund. And so we had to make some hard decisions in regards to that. So it was an excess of sometimes 50, 60, 70, 80,000 that we would have to cover for some, and it just was just getting very, very expensive.
So we're assisting them through just general knowledge in the beginning of the courses of college for dual enrollment, just general knowledge.
Yes, just through general
So if they
general
choose
studies.
to go in any other route, that is on the parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but they also have the pre-camp scholars program. So if those students go through, when they graduate and they become a part of the camp scholars program, that associate's degree along with books and fees are provided free of charge.
Right, but listen to what you just said, because we had students graduating with the associate's degrees.
Correct.
And now they're graduating with just general knowledge and have to go to another 4-year, or 2-year, with
Yes,
the scholars.
yes.
Wow.
If
Okay.
for some reason the child does dual enrollment with Pawnee Camp and they don't pay their bill with Pawnee Camp, it does not affect them getting a diploma from Franklin High?
Oh, no, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is just if you want, it's like an enrichment. It's a luxury. If you want to make sure that your child gets an associate's degree ahead of time, then you have to pay for it.
Okay, so no matter what's going on with the child and Pawnee Camp, if they have a huge bill, it has nothing to do with them graduating from Franklin High?
No,
No.
no.
No
Those
repercussions?
those students, they're getting 2 degrees.
I understand.
So instead of them getting 2 degrees, they will get a high school diploma, not the associates. But it has nothing to do with their high school graduation.
Okay, it's between the parent and Pawnee Camp.
Yes, ma'am.
And is there a number of how many general study courses will they take to get that certification?
I think it's 22. I think it's like 16 or 22 courses. I'm not sure. Credits. I'm sorry, not
Credits.
not courses. Credits. Thank you. And for the associates, it's 60 credits. Yes.
So that just means if they choose to go into Camp Scholar, they already have that first part already done.
Yes.
Okay. So it wouldn't hold against them with the Camp Scholars giving them 2 years?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Next slide, please. All right. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm freezing. I need my cup of coffee.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. This evening, I'm sharing publicly the school crisis management plans. Again, the Code of Virginia requires that each school board ensure these crisis management plans are in place at the division level and for each school within the division. It also requires that the superintendent identify the emergency manager for the division. I serve in that capacity as the Assistant Superintendent of Operations. The Department of Criminal Justice Services has really helped local divisions by providing a template to use for the crisis management plans, provide some uniformity for not only the divisions, but when the plans are shared with local first responders, they know where to look, they know what to expect. These plans have been developed in collaboration with school level leadership and division level support, with some feedback being provided to make sure that we have accurate information that's available for these plans. And again, these pieces were shared in closed session relative to the sensitivity. We want to make sure that we have safe procedures, and so that's why that was discussed in closed session. Next slide, Ms. Davis. Thank you. One part of the crisis management plan spells out the drill requirements for the division. There are actually 3 separate codes that spell out how fire drills are supposed to be conducted, and each 3 have different levels of expectation. So what we do is we utilize the most strict version to ensure that we're in compliance with all laws. So we can expect 1 fire drill per week for the first month of school, and then once monthly thereafter. In terms of lockdown drills, we are required to have one within the first 20 days of school. So for us this year, that 20th day is September 25th. We're also required to have at least one more after the 60th day of school, which is December 9th. Typically, that second drill, that second lockdown drill is conducted during second semester, just to ensure that there's kind of a balance in the drill time that we have. The other thing that I want to be sure to highlight for families and community members is that there is a requirement of notifying families at least 24 hours in advance of a lockdown drill, so that they can discuss that with their children, so that they're prepared for that when they're coming to school. The earthquake drill, that's one of our easiest drills to remember. It is conducted on October 17th at 10:17 a.m. So we're, again, participating in the Great Southeast Shakeout, and so we'll have some information on that as we get closer. We're also required to conduct at least 1 tornado drill annually, and conduct 2 bus evacuation drills. So we have the dates highlighted. Those are already on the calendar for both schools. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. All right, thank you.
Dr. Carter, Ms. Boone, school board, and those assembled, good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Moore.
So July was the first month of our new fiscal year, and I've included a copy of the city ordinance from the city of Franklin appropriating our initial budget for fiscal year 26. On the left, you can see that there are revenues, federal, state, local, and other, and the self-sustaining nutrition fund, self-sustaining textbook fund, and the grand total is $21,299,411. And since, go back please. since that's our revenue budget, that's how much we can expend on our expenditure side. And the city has appropriated this budget by categorically. For example, instruction, administration, transportation, etc. And you'll see as I go through this presentation that our budget in our current financial reporting system matches this ordinance.
Quick question before you go on.
Yes.
So those categories, is that a VDOE recommendation, or is this the city that has actually recommended that? How does that come about to go through those particular, and what percentages are determined? Is that determined by the city, or is that determined by the school?
The expenditure categories are mandated by Virginia Department of Education. Those codings, 6,100 for instruction, et cetera, are set by Virginia Department of Education, and those codes are to be used in the annual school report that goes to legislators and others.
So we really don't have much control over how those categories go. Is that correct? Percentages? I mean, in the budget, I assume superintendent and the school board will approve a budget, but how is that budget determined for those amounts? Is that a city set budget, or is it a school division set?
The school division is tasked then with, once we get the ordinance, making sure that our financial reporting system matches that ordinance, both by category and in total.
And in total, okay.
Okay, this is the July results. You can see that we've only collected 7% instead of 8% of our state funding, and that's because the standards of quality funding starts coming in July. But incentive, categorical, lottery, all the other programs we get funds from, the monies don't start coming in until about January. So I've highlighted the three largest variances, the three variances that are over 8%, and I will now explain what those discrepancies are. So there are expenditures that we have that are annual in nature. One-time, non-recurring things, and we also have things pop up that were unexpected expenditures. So in yellow, I've highlighted administration, and we spent 10% of our budget instead of the 8%. We had annual expenditures to the Pierce Group and to our financial reporting software for our annual renewals, and that came to $65,000. And had we not had that $65,000, we would have been below 8% spent. And how that will resolve itself during the year is the revenues will be coming in faster than the expenditures. The second variance I have in orange is operations and maintenance. And of course, we had our annual insurance premiums, and we had the gym floors that we do every year. We had some HVAC repairs at J.P. King and at Franklin High School. And we also had an unexpected sanitary line replacement at J.P. King. And that came to $341,000. And again, absent those one-time expenditures, we would have been under the 8%. In blue, we have technology. And we spent 26% of our budget because at the beginning of each school year, we purchase Chromebooks for the students. And so those explanations taken together are $613,000, and that would more than explain the budget variance for this month.
So quickly, we have spent over our budget, right?
Yes.
Okay. With that, where does that money come from? Is that something we had already in, or have we spent beyond what we have available?
We have a budget of $21 million available to us now to use.
Okay, so that's there, that's in the bank, we can distribute that accordingly. Yes, we're above budget, but that money is available. We're not spending stuff that has not been appropriated.
That is correct.
Okay, just want to make sure of that.
And like I said, there are annual expenditures that we pay only once a year that hit in July. There are also one-time expenditures that we don't expect to recur. This is the self-sustaining textbook and nutrition funds. We haven't had expenditures in the textbook funds, other than the bank fee. And for nutrition fund, the expenditures have been relatively low due to July being the summer school period. Next slide, please. Under federal grants, normally what we have is that the June federal grant reimbursements have not come in yet in July. However, we have escalated our process in filing reimbursements to make it more timely, and we did collect $200,000 of the June expenditures already in the month of July. We spent $203,000 in instruction in the month of July for grant funds, and we have already filed for those reimbursements. We expect them in August. Okay, and this brings us to the overall total. You can see it matches the city ordinance of $21,299,411, and also by category, instruction, admin, etc. Are there any questions about July?
So just look, I'm sorry, go back, please. So here we got a negative 239,912, correct, in the actual operating surplus deficit. That's a deficit of 239,000, is that correct? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
And that is in our actual expenditures.
Yes.
So that means we have spent over budget
For July, yes.
for July. Okay. So when does that come? I guess we're assuming that we're going to get that.
Yes.
But again,
Because, again, the VDOE funds start coming in more in January.
in January.
Yes.
So here again, this is where I'm confused because yes, we have a budget. We have so much we can spend per month. And so far for the month of July, we're overspent by 239,000.
Yes.
I'm understanding that correctly.
Yes.
So I assume we're going to erase that as time goes by, but are we stepping in, I grew up on a farm, are we stepping in the manure because we're over budget?
No.
Or should we have waited to spend some of those things until we had those funds available?
No. We collected 8% of our revenues overall, and so that $21 million budget is an annual figure. We just track the percentages month by month in order to ensure that we don't overspend what we are able to cover. We had this exact same problem last year, except for it was much worse, because the VDOE funding was based on 923, and we were actually at 1057. So there's some initial July expenses that have to be incurred to start the school year before those funds come in.
But who's covering that deficit right there of 239,000?
Right now, it's just a deficit on our books, and over time, it will be reduced.
It's a deficit on the books, but is the city floating us that money?
No, this is the financials. I'm getting ready to talk about cash in a minute, but the financials, all the expenditures are recorded as incurred. Whereas when we talk about cash and bank balances, it's only when the check hits the bank. So if you could go to the next slide. The total dollars that we took in the month of July alone was $1.8 million. And the total dollars that came out of our bank account is $1.1 million. So as far as the bank is concerned, we have $653,000 remaining that we can start using for August.
Just a quick question. Was this also the philosophy used last school year?
Actually, we're putting a review, since the city's accounting system no longer tracks cash balance and working with the treasurer's office to determine which checks can be released, I have taken it upon myself to create a tracking system and work with the treasurer so that we do not get in a position that we were in last year. We have a schedule day by day, how much cash came in that day, how much cash went out that day, and how many checks were written, what checks are outstanding. So I do not anticipate that to recur.
Okay, and you're working with the treasurer, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Another question. You talking about last year, the deficit or that we went over last year owing to the city, is there a plan to give them their money back? Do we have that plan as a school board?
The city has not completed their FY24 audit, so we really are not in a position to talk about fiscal year '25 with them at this point.
Okay, but when they do, if there is a deficit, if we do owe them money, are we going to make a plan to repay the city back their money?
I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Okay.
Well, actually, I believe we do owe them money. I think in the article I read it was 3.9 million.
That did not count our beginning balance of 3.8 million. But when you have a personal checking account, you've got what's your beginning balance, you got checks going out, and you've got checks coming in, and you have an ending balance. So if you have $1,000 and you spend $1,200, that does not mean you're in a $200 deficit. It just means you dug into that beginning balance. So on the next slide, I show you our beginning balance. Does it?
No, I said that doesn't make sense. You just sit here and said my maximum money is $1,000 and I spent $1,200.
No, your beginning balance is $1,000. You took in, let's say you took in 1,000, but you spent.
You said I had
You have a beginning balance of $1,000. You have your activity during the month, and if you've overspent during that month, you just eat into your beginning balance.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying, if you're saying I only have a set amount of money to spend, and I spent more than that set amount, I am going to be in a deficit. I mean, there's no
It doesn't,
way around that.
we had 3.8 million in the beginning balance, so the 3.6 million is not a deficit. And that's been certified by our auditors. And as the city becomes more ready to talk about fiscal year '25, I'm sure that their auditors and our auditors will be able to collaborate to resolve that issue.
So our auditors have finished. We're just waiting for the city auditors,
Yes, ma'am.
so we could go ahead and collaborate and see what's owed or
Yes,
not
ma'am.
owed? Okay.
We're actually having to postpone our audit because we have not received anything from the city for fiscal year '25.
Understood.
So on the next slide, you can see that
Before we
even
get
though,
off of that, part of this problem is a wording problem, because we get a grant, we have to spend the money for the grant, then request reimbursement, and the money comes in to cover that. So we're always overspending, but at the end of the year, it balances out. We're not overspending. We're getting grants that we have to buy up front and then be reimbursed for.
well, my financial report will be transparent as to everything going on with our financials, good or bad. Now, against that $653,000, we know we've written more checks, because the checkbook balance is always going to be a little bit less than the bank balance, because you deduct your checks when you write them. The bank is going to deduct them when they get them. So really, for planning purposes, we ended the month with $254,000.
Okay. Are there any checks that's being held by the treasurer that is not paid?
No, ma'am.
So all of that has been cleared up?
Yes, ma'am.
The checks that were held? Okay.
Okay. Next, I have the July vouchers, and I've separated them this month into cafeteria, which is its own self-supporting fund. And you'll notice those expenditures were light this month because it was summer school. Then I go into general fund, if you'll flip through those. The next few slides are general fund. And then lastly, I have listed grant funds, where we've made expenditures and we are awaiting reimbursement. Any other questions?
What does it mean by student incentives? Go back 4 lines, because you went too fast.
Could
And
you
I
go
didn't
through
bring my
this-
glasses.
Well. Much.
There's a line up there that says students incentives. What actually is that?
We have a couple of codes for student incentives. Some are SOL incentives, some of
Okay.
them are attendance incentives.
So is that something that the teachers buy and they get reimbursed? Is it something that, what is it?
No, ma'am, it's a budget that
Can we
have.
start from the first screen with all the information and then go through each? I want to read them. I can't read as fast as the clicks.
Looking down, the largest allied instructional services is the therapy that we provide to our special needs students.
I know what that is.
How many do we have on that program? And is that a monthly bill? What is that?
It's a monthly bill.
Is that an average for us, 25,000 a month?
Yes, sir.
How many students are we helping with that? Do we know?
We have an exact number, I just don't have it with me tonight, but we do have quite a bit of students who receive services.
And
So
is
it's-
that, sorry.
You can go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's a local service, this is a contracted service, this is a VDO.
It's a required service that a student with a disability in their IEP, if they need speech therapy, occupational therapy.
That's what I was gonna
we must
ask.
Provide
Yeah.
that for them, and that's where we contract with Allied Services for those required services that we have to provide.
Okay.
Do they come to the schools?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And this is the budget for July, for summer school?
These are the ones that we paid in July. It could relate to June or May. Because we were catching up on our expenditures in July.
That's what I just asked about, the students.
Explain or describe exactly what the student attendance incentives are?
Yes, we have student attendance incentives at each school, which we have implemented over 2 years. And with that attendance incentive program, we have closed attendance gaps, bringing them into the yellow zone now, because we offer opportunities for students to participate in different activities. We have weekly incentive for classrooms that come and you do little challenges against each other. We also have family gatherings and different things that they can earn incentives for getting kids on to school on time, getting them to participate. And we have a whole program that's kind of centered around that with our family engagement specialists, school counselors, to try to motivate attendance. We have and it's also, we added like an auction program where the kids can come and earn points and for attending, being active participants, also coming to touch base, coming to different things that's geared towards families and the students academically. And it's like an incentive program to kind of support them.
It was also something last year where it was something along the lines of Mustang Bucks. And what they did was they went and brought little trinkets and things, and as the children came in, they gained these bucks, which were Mustang dollars. And I do know that the attendance, some of that was those little trinkets that the kids would go back in and trade their Mustang bucks for, or Bronco, yeah, Mustang bucks.
Skills as well.
So wait, go back, because that was 64,000 for dual enrollment.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so
We will no longer have that expense.
okay.
Yeah, because this is what we were covering. And so we can't sustain that.
So with general knowledge, we're not being charged that. That's just okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The Virginia Department, the General Assembly has now established as of August 1st that no community college in Virginia can charge for their certificate program. It would have been an expense, but now it is not an expense that the parent nor the school division can require payment for that certificate, only for the dual enrollment associates program.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, ma'am. How many students do we have going to the governor's schools? Chesterfield County Public Schools.
We have 4 slots for arts, which is the Appomattox Regional, who fall under. Sorry. We have 4 slots for the Appomattox Regional Governor School, which falls under Chesterfield County Public Schools.
Okay.
And then we also have 1 slot for the Governor School of the Arts, which is based out of Norfolk. Makes sense. So we have 5 slots total between the 2 governor schools, with access to get more if we were like.
When does that, is that a end of the year? Is that based upon enrollment? Is that just how's that formula that we pay $36,000 to them? Do we know how that works?
All right, so the tuition for ARCS is currently $9,000 per slot that we have. So since we have 4 slots, that's how that comes in.
We have to provide transportation there and back every day.
Yes.
So do we have 4 students there?
So we just had 1 that graduated, so now we have 3 students that are at ARCS.
So it's only paid with an enrolled student. It's not like a contract, we have 4, we have to cover it.
Yes, we are required to pay for 4 slots, whether we fill them or not.
Well, there's a lot of restrictions. They have to start in 8th grade, correct? And they have to finish it out. And
Yes, no matter what, we are required to pay for 4 slots.
And how is that determined? Was that a division-wide decision? Is that a school board decision? Who decided we get 4? Is that state?
That's not a division-wide, because we don't have anything to do with the decision. I'm not sure exactly who makes it, it's probably their board, that governs that, but we are required to pay for the 4. It's not anything that we have a choice about.
Okay, and it's open to private schools and other schools. So it's not just the Franklin City Public School students, it's open to the community, it's open to private schools.
So we are scouting for someone to take that place that just graduated, correct? We are looking for another student.
Yes, we are, but students in the city can apply as well.
Okay.
And we are one of 13, I believe, 13 or 14 other divisions in this area that all participate. So from Franklin, going back up toward the Chesterfield area.
Okay.
So we have 4 slots for Franklin students.
But they could also be homeschool students too. So if they live in Franklin,
They reside in the city.
Yes, that's
yes, as long as they reside in the city, they are also eligible to take a slot.
All right, Ms. Davis.
The $120,000 is for the annual textbook transfer. All of the textbook funds from the state come into the general fund, and once a year we move them to the textbook fund.
So if we don't use it, we lose it?
No.
So that $120,000 was given to us at one point, right?
It was given to us in the general fund, but it really belongs in the self-sustaining textbook fund, and we can carry those funds over from year to year.
Okay.
It says bus camera DVR replacement. Did something happen to one of our new buses? The cameras?
That is an additional purchase. So we have 2 cameras that are positioned so that we can see what's happening in the seats. This additional camera will allow us to ensure that there are no blind spots on the bus. That does not include the 2 dash cameras that we have up front. So this is an additional camera that we have that we're adding to each of our regular school buses.
To the regular school buses?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But, in between, how many years do we gain a new electrical bus? Are we getting another one, or we're not? We're staying with our 3 that we currently have?
At this time, I'm not pursuing another electric bus.
Okay. What is Gaggle annual renewal? 15,000.
Josh will correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a service that we can use to And so if they type in something that is vulgar, obscene,
Inappropriate.
there's a message that is sent, we're able to track that.
Okay. And the mini split unit for Mod B, 15,000 general funds?
So Mod B is our oldest modular,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a period of time where we were robbing Peter to pay Paul with some of the HVAC because most of that building had not been in use for students. And so as we're preparing for Clear Choice, we want to make sure that we have temperature regulated classrooms for our teachers and our students in that program. So the mini split is a small unit that you typically see near the ceiling that is able to cool a relatively large space. It's the most economic option that we have as it relates to replacing some of our aging HVAC units.
I have another question for you, Dr. Walters, or Dr. Carter. Specialist mod, what is that, Mod C? Where the specialists are, our newest mod?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we in fact getting an awning for it? Because our children are getting soaked when it rains.
Yes, ma'am. We're in the process of securing that.
Because I do know that the teachers did not go into the mod because regular classes, basically, they were getting wet. But now you have the specialists there. They're getting wet.
Yes, ma'am.
So do have a time frame?
I will have an update for you at our next meeting.
Thank you. That's the third time I asked. Thank you. Jesus, you could change it, Miss.
The 47,000 and 3,000 there to RDA Systems, that's our financial reporting software annual fee. The 33,575 for school facility services is only the first payment related to the JPK sanitary line replacement.
And the complete total of that project is for the sewer line in JP King?
169?
You could change it, Ms. Davis. Is everyone okay with this one?
The repair to the bus for almost 8,000, is that a new bus or older bus?
That was
EV 32?
and one of our electric buses.
New bus.
I don't recall that particular repair, but I can follow up with you.
Please follow up. That's a high repair for a new bus.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we in fact going to use Spot My Bus this year?
Yes, ma'am, that is being rolled out to families.
Okay. Okay.
And then this page starts the grant expenditures that we're seeking reimbursement for.
Can you elaborate on the grants? Because I do know when we receive certain grants, we have to spend the whole entire grant in order to get reimbursed. Is that correct? Or how does that go?
They're reimbursed as incurred, so when we have a payroll or if we pay bills, as soon as they're paid, we are able to request reimbursement for them. And then there's a percentage for the title grants that you have to get down to and can only carry over, I believe it's 15%.
So once again, I see the bus camera DVR. Is there a difference between this one and the first one that was on the 2 slides before? 18,225.
Well, this one would have been paid for by a technology grant, while the other was in general fund.
So this 18,000. Okay, explain that one more time.
This Dell Marketing was bus camera DVR that we purchased using grant funds,
Okay.
and we will be reimbursed for that.
So is that how many DVR? Yes.
Is, and Josh will step out from the booth if I need to be corrected, but I believe that this was the purchase for tablets that are associated with the camera system so that there's communication back in the supervisor's office. So on the buses, she has access to live video feed, and I believe that is a purchase related to that service.
So is it that half came from the grant and the other half was 2 slides ago?
So the tablets, I believe, are from the Dell purchase, and the cameras themselves are actually from the other purchase.
Okay.
So just help me understand the whole concept here. So we have this grants, for the grants to receive money for this. We make our decision based upon the grants, I assume, or is it based
Yes.
upon a need?
There's an annual plan for each grant that the grant manager sets forth exactly what they want to propose to spend each grant dollar on by category: employee benefits, wages, materials and supplies, contracted services, and during the year, if we need to adjust that plan, we will file a budget amendment, and we will then redirect our spending accordingly.
If everyone's okay, you can change it, Ms. Davis.
And United Interventions is tutoring that is covered by a grant.
I know it says enrichment tutoring, but what are we really doing with the money? It says enrichment tutoring,
United Interventions.
kind of high figures.
That grant was written by the All-In grant. We were required to have, we were required to provide interventions for students in grades 3 through 8. So a part of that grant is that we were able to hire United Interventions, who went and they hired tutors that we vetted and we put in our classrooms. So that money can only be spent for that purpose.
So it was used to pay another company to come in and do interventions and so forth?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Do the grants require certain companies, I mean, is that set already? So they give us a grant, but then we have to hire United Interventions? We could have hired somebody else, just as long as we use that, but they were set up according to what we knew. And
They give us the requirements, and then we write the grant based on the requirements. So they give you, when you write the grant, they give you guidance, what it can be used for. They don't tell you which intervention company to use, but if you use an intervention, they say it's permissible to use an intervention. You find one that's in your area that meets your needs, and you can write the grant with them in it.
That's it.
Any questions? Now I'd like to present 5 budget amendments. As I mentioned, the City of Franklin is still working on their fiscal year '24 annual report, and so we have not collaborated yet on fiscal year 2025, and these first 3 budget amendments reflect budget amendments for fiscal year 2025 that I'm presenting to the school board, and then they will go to City Council. And I will be requesting that none of the budget amendments I did for last year, except a couple, were presented to City Council, even though they were approved by the school board and sent to the city. So I will be asking that all of the budget amendments from fiscal year 25 be presented to the city for consideration, the City Council. So the first one is an increase in the required local match due to our increase in average daily membership. And so the city had already provided $4.3 million, and the required local match went up to $4,805,571. So this budget amendment proposes to record the difference and accept those funds. I'd like to.
So my question on this one is, this is a requirement based upon the ADM, right? Is that right? Because
Yes.
we've actually had that number of students increase, so then we would increase this. Now, here's the question is, can we wait till they approve that before we vote on it?
Well, in general, our process has been that I would propose a budget amendment to the city, to the school board. The school board would approve it or deny it. And then if it was approved, I would send it over to the city for presentation to the City Council for their approval. And I think we'll have to change that process a bit until.
That's what I'm saying. So we kind of got into this problem. We've approved these budget amendments, and they are not, whatever's happening with the City Council, whatever happening, they're not being approved, I assume.
That's correct. I'll be asking for them to approve all of the fiscal year 2025, including these first 3.
Okay. So again, do we, I would propose that we have them approve first, because we can't spend it until they approve, correct?
Yes.
So maybe in the future, we have you go to them first, get the approval, then we come back and approve it. Would that work? Is that too hard? I mean, I'm just asking. We know what's out there in the community, right? That we're spending money we don't have.
I think we would
Have the
have
money.
to approve it.
Wait till they approve.
We would have to approve it for them to approve it.
Yes.
That's the stand. I mean, is that the way it goes?
Yeah.
The problem was we spent things before the city approved it. We went ahead and spent.
Because we had no way of knowing that these budget amendments would not be honored because they were based on previous commitments from year 24. Okay, so the next, let's vote on these individually.
Do we have a motion to approve the FY '25 local match budget amendment?
I so move.
Do we have a second?
Second it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Any abstentions?
I want to vote individually. This collective thing I cannot do. Each person, I can't hear each person when everyone is speaking at one time. My ears are not as good as everyone else's.
You're presenting them individually, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm talking about the vote individually. Everybody's speaking at one time. I can't differentiate who's saying what. I've spoken that before.
Wadia Bailey,
I'll hold on and listen. Instead of saying first.
go ahead with your second one.
The second budget amendment is to accept the $2.8 million increase in state funding that we received this year. I would like the school board to approve that.
Do we have a motion to approve the increased FY25 state funding budget amendment?
I so move.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Now we are going to vote. Kent Grant?
Aye.
LaShonda Parker? Aye. Reed Harrison?
Yes.
Christina Boone, yes. Bob Hope?
Yes.
Miss Bailey?
Yes.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Go ahead, Ms. Morrison.
Okay, the third and final budget amendment for year 25 is that at the end of the year, we received a tidings grant to extend the fiscal year 2021 Title I funds. We did receive these funds, and they must be encumbered by September 30th, and reimbursements must be submitted in November. And so this budget amendment proposes to accept those funds.
Do we have a motion to approve Title I allocation budget amendments?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Kent Grant?
Aye.
LaShonda Parker?
Aye.
Reed Harrison?
Aye.
Christina Boone, aye. Bob Hope?
Aye.
Miss Bailey?
Aye.
The last two budget amendments I have relate to the current fiscal year of 26. The first one is we received funding from the state in June for bonuses for SOQ-related positions in the schools. We received $121,292. However, as a retention incentive, we elected to pay that in August. So I'm asking the City Council to appropriate a budget for the $121,000. I'm not asking for any money, just an appropriation to the budget.
What does that mean?
That just means that we need authority to spend as opposed to we don't need them to fund it.
The money you were talking about, that was money to give to the teachers as bonuses?
Yes.
And what is the outline? How are you giving it to the teachers? Who's getting it?
We sent it to, we sent a certification in to the state that we were going to pay it in August, and the standards of quality positions, I can tell you who they are. Principals, assistant principals, teachers, anyone that has to do with direct education. So we've already got the list of who qualifies,
How did you qualify them?
if they're in one of those positions.
One of what positions? If they're a teacher, because it's broad, if they're a teacher or a principal or assistant principal, they automatically get the money?
$1,000, yes, ma'am.
$1,000. So they all get the same amount?
Yes, ma'am.
So all the teachers and all the principals all get the same amount?
Yes, ma'am.
And that money is supposed to be released to them by this month in August?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if we vote on that, they will get the money this month in August?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If the city approves it,
Right. But we're mandated to pay it.
even if the city does not approve it.
We would have to have that conversation offline.
Okay.
Do we have the money to pay it? It was given to us already, right?
Yes, we have the money.
But it was given to us?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is for the staff from the 24-25 school year, correct?
The ones that are returning, yes. And this would just allow us to have an expenditure budget to cover the expenditure because it was in last year's budget. And BDOE has said that this carry forward entry is permissible
You said this is for the 24-25 year.
for the teachers.
Yeah, for the
who were-
24
Who were there in the 24-25 year that are returning.
It's really
But
the
even if they're not,
retention
even if they're not, but if it was for the 24-25 year and they worked that year, why if they decided to move on with their careers, they can't receive it?
Because as superintendent, I have that option, and so does everyone else in the state of Virginia, to either pay up front or use it as retention bonuses, as long as it's given to the staff before September. And so I decided that we would hold those for retention bonuses.
So even though they work successfully through the 24-25 year, they won't get it if they didn't return?
Correct.
Wow.
I'm not the only district that has used that formula. You can check with many other school districts that use that as a recruitment and retention strategy.
Can we go ahead, please?
The final budget amendment I have tonight is the Department of Criminal Justice Services has awarded us a grant through the city for $51,385, and that would cover one additional school security officer.
Did we need to vote on what you, on
We
the,
didn't vote, we didn't do a motion, I didn't do a motion for the last one, Ms. Morrison.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve the carry forward from FY '24 to FY '25 to state funding for SOQ budget amendment?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Kent Grant? Aye. LaShonda Parker?
Aye.
Reed Harrison? Yes. Bob Hope?
Aye.
Christina Boone? Aye. Ms. Bailey?
aye.
Okay.
Quick question though, what happens to the money that's left over, being that some of those teachers didn't stay?
We did not have enough to pay $1,000 per position in this $121,000, and so using it as a retention bonus allowed each teacher to get the $1,000.
That didn't answer his question.
Also, because I think we had 34 new teachers, so that means that, you know, those 34 aren't supposed to touch this money. It's for the ones that we retain, correct?
Yes.
You're saying we still don't have enough?
I can answer that. So what we did was, so the SFQ bonus was for instructional staff, and what we did, we made certain that everyone that was on the Virginia State's list got $1,000, and the money that was left over, we split it up amongst the rest of the support staff that work in the building. So like clerical staff, custodians, nutrition, maintenance, curriculum specialists, nurses.
So everyone that's returning is getting the bonus?
Everyone that's returning that actually
Turn.
works in the building,
Yes.
that impacts instruction, that impacts the operation of the school building.
Did they all get the same amount?
No, so instructional staff got $425, because we took what was remaining and divided amongst the number of people that was remaining. That came back.
Instructional staff got $425. What about the maintenance workers?
Staff got $1,000.
Right.
The support staff got $425, received $425.
And did that take away all the money? Was there a balance left after that? So it is depleted.
So with that being said, that just means that central office did not get a bonus like they did last year?
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus. Go ahead, Ms. Morrison.
Okay, the last budget amendment I have, as I stated, is to accept a grant from Department of Criminal Justice Services for one additional security officer. It does have a local match requirement of $14,820, and that's already in our budget. So we are asking that an additional appropriation of $36,565 be added to our budget, and the City Council did approve this on August 11th at their meeting.
Do we have a motion to approve, accept the grant from DCJS to cover the cost of one additional school security officer?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
I just have a question.
Yes.
Where's this other officer going?
So each of our schools will have at least one security officer. We'll have two at Franklin High School, and we'll have a security officer for our Clear Choice program.
The mod, alternative ed. Ken Grant? Aye. LaShonda Parker?
Aye.
Reed Harrison?
Nay.
Christina Boone? Aye. Bob Reed?
Bob Hope,
Bob
aye.
Hope? Bob Hope? I'm cold.
Aye.
Wadia Bailey?
Aye.
I know this has been a long presentation, but I do welcome any questions or concerns at any time. My contact information is on our website.
Thank you, Ms. Morrison.
Thank you.
Budget adjustment, I did not get the vote. I got the motion and the second, but I didn't hear the vote.
Okay, okay,
Ms. Bailey had a concern.
okay.
Not vote on it, or
I don't know, so why don't we do it all over again? Because I don't recall.
For number one, do we have a motion to approve the FY '25? And the second, okay, so we need to vote for the, he asked which one, so I'm clarifying.
Yeah, please clarify, say what it was again.
It was, did we have a motion to approve the FY '25 local match budget amendment? We already have the motion and we have the second, so we're gonna individually vote. Kent Grant?
I abstain.
LaShonda Parker? Aye. Reed Harrison?
Aye.
Christina Boone, aye. Bob Hope?
Aye.
Ms. Bailey?
Nay.
Yes, ma'am. Do we have any school board business? That's not the way it's up here. Under there, it has school board business, then it has citizens' time. Okay, citizens' time. Mr. Lamont Hill?
our timer is broken, so I'm just going to show you. So when you start talking, I'm going to.
Okay, sounds good. All right, good evening, Lamont Hill, 500 Vaughns Lane.
Good evening.
Thank you all for allowing me this time to speak. Mr. Grant, it's our first time meeting. I want to tell you I was at William & Mary with a couple students when your son was named captain, and it was a proud moment for me to know who he was, and I shared that with them. So just a couple things about leadership. We heard a lot of stuff tonight, but nothing really centered around the kids. And you know, more often than not, we hear that the kids are our future, and I say that they are our now. The advancement of technology has opened up way more opportunities than we ever saw at their age. And what is FCPS missing is consistency. Every school will have new leadership this year, and unfortunately for the kids at SP Morton, this is nothing new. Define leadership. Leadership refers to the ability to guide and influence individuals or teams toward achieving common goals, which should be our kids in this case. It encompasses a set of mindsets and behaviors that align people in a collective direction, enabling them to work together effectively. Enabling them to collaborative direction involves hearing them and their opinions being welcomed, but that's not the case here. Leadership involves motivating and directing others to take necessary actions for success. Again, not the case. It is fundamentally a social process that allows individuals to collaborate and achieve results that they cannot accomplish alone. Again, you come together as a team to hear everybody out, to come to a consensus on something. It just seemed like it's one way in Franklin City Public Schools. So, a couple questions for you guys. Was it effective leadership to close a failing school and create programs that still didn't provide students with the basic foundations of learning, reading, writing, and arithmetic? Was it effective leadership to continuously present misleading information to the school board and the stakeholders? You guys aren't dumb. Y'all know you can see the video on your website for yourself. A lot of the stuff that you've been presented with was bull. Is it effective leadership to suspend teachers or issue letters of no trespass to those who see through your fraudulent ways and aren't afraid to speak out against you? Your mentoring program, that doesn't apply to everybody. That only applies to those that see what you see. I know that. So as a stakeholder, because I pay your stipends, I pay your salary, I have a vested interest in the product that we are releasing into the world, which is our kids. As a stakeholder, I see a failing leadership team that needs to be held accountable. As a stakeholder, our kids will greatly benefit from with your resignation immediately. You're killing our kids. You have no interest in this community. Thank you.
Thank you for your words.
Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Hill.
Thank you for your time, Ms. Bloom.
No problem. Thank you. School board announcements, presentations, school board business.
I have one item. I was fortunate to visit the Old Dominion University mobile clinic at J.P. King yesterday. And I talked to the nurse and the students working there, and they told me that they average 25 adults per day when that clinic is open. So I think that's off to a great start. Thank you all for that.
I have a question for you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
What is the proper protocol to try to get a topic of discussion on the closed session docket? And what would be the legitimate reasons to deny that topic?
It is presented to me, and when it was closed, because there's a certain time frame, is when it can be added onto it. And that phone call was actually done after 12 o'clock, I believe, or 2 o'clock, when I was told in a text that I needed to get in contact with Ms. Davis to have something placed on closed session.
The first time I asked for something to be placed on the docket, it was also done around that time as well, and it was placed on the docket.
No, I only got one thing. So what was told to you was that it can go on the next school board meeting, was actually what was told to you. Mm-hmm. So I didn't forget about it. It wasn't closed, and there's no decision made on it. It was just moved to the next meeting.
So it will be placed on the next docket?
That's what I told you. I didn't stop from what I told you. I told you the next closed meeting, it'll be placed on it. And the next date, Ms. Davis, is?
Very next school board
Yes, ma'am.
is
September 4th?
It's September.
4th, yes, September 4th. That is a work session.
So to make sure that I'm understanding, it needs to be done before 12 o'clock, contact you, ask you if something can be placed on the
What it is that you bring it to Ms. Davis' attention, and Ms. Davis cannot put anything on the agenda unless I know about it. And that's what happened, and yes, you did. You did it correctly. And I did instruct her to put it on our next agenda meeting, our next meeting. So it wasn't not put under the table, slid in the pocket, or any of that. It's going on the next one. Yes. Well, you won't see, he'll see, because he'll be in closed session.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is because during the last session when we were having the conversation, I asked for it then to be held over for our next, meeting because I didn't want it closed out.
Right.
But, it got closed out for this next meeting.
Well, it actually didn't get closed out. You asked for it to be tabled without a further date being given, is what I remember.
The word table never came out of my mouth. I asked for it to continue to be open.
Okay. Okay, thank you. No problem. Did you have something, Ms. Parker?
I just wanted to also bring to the board's attention that at our next meeting, there's some information that I have regarding ARTS and tuition that I need the board to have a discussion on, not a vote, but we do need to have a discussion regarding tuition for ARTS. But I'll have request to have that put on our next agenda, our next meeting.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I have a question myself.
Yes, ma'am.
I've not been in the country for a minute, so I wasn't apprised of anything that has happened recently. I had no contact phone, email, or anything else. Who made the decision, because I recently seen a letter that was sent, I don't know if it was by central office to Audrey Lee. Who made the decision to send that letter to her?
I consulted with the school board chair, and the letter of concern was sent to her.
So it was just you and the school board chair ahead of time who made this decision and who consulted on it?
Yes, ma'am, because there actually was no action taken. It was a letter of concern. If there was a true action taken, then I would have consulted, I would have had to go into the board.
Oh, the letter, and I think many people saw it because it was posted publicly, it was given to her by an officer. It wasn't someone who just handed to her. She was actually given it by an officer in open public. It wasn't done privately. It wasn't done discreetly. It wasn't done between you and her or between, since it was just you two who knew about it. It wasn't done by Ms. Boone and her. And the letter actually, the way it was written, it was action taken. It was saying if, then this, if, then that. It accused her of certain things, and I haven't had a discussion with her, but I don't know if anything was discussed with her before that letter was written with those accusations in it. So did anyone discuss the accusations in that letter before you two wrote it and had a police officer give it to her in public?
There was no need because we know what happened.
No. It's just a yes or no question. I asked a yes or no question. Did anybody discuss the accusations before? Because before I'm accused of something.
There was no need because it happened and it was done in front of witnesses.
So did anyone ask her or discuss it with her? I just was looking for a yes or no. Did anyone discuss it with her before it was given to her so she could defend herself or explain herself? Did anybody do that?
No, but she can come talk to me now.
So no, nobody did. So are you now saying she can have a discussion with you?
Yes, she can.
Can she have a discussion with the entire board so it can be more than just a one-on-one? Because I don't want her to be able to say you said something improper to her or vice versa. So can she come in closed session and speak to all of us about it?
That would be up to the board chair.
I know, I'm asking because we don't have anything to hide. So can she come in closed session and have her discussion with the entire board?
Yes, she can.
Okay, Ms. Lee, could you please make those arrangements? Yes, ma'am. All right, that's all I had. One other thing, Lamont Hill, I don't know you personally, but your words did not fall on deaf ears, and you did have some valid points. Just wanted to say that FYI.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.